Oh, I got water this time. I went and got it before.
Lies.
No,
Lies
no,
and
no. I mean, I drank half of it while talking to you guys, but no, we're good.
Go get more water.
No.
Get a
So
pitcher of water.
we're in Sleepy Pines. We're working on a bit of a case. We'll start off. It was just sort of a body was found, pizza guy murdered. That was session one. We did some investigating. We found some leads, and that brought us over to the Rieger household. Session one was, pretty calm. Not a whole lot happened. Session two was a lot of information. So if we could just sort of jump through people, and maybe we can do a little bit of a recap. What are some big? Yeah, he's pretty dead. He's pretty dead. So what were some important things that happened last session, or some information we found out?
We found out about some roofie cocaine.
That's right. Yeah. Some roofie cocaine. So there's Rudy. There's this powder that they'd found. There's 2 bags of it on this gentleman's table. Well, I don't know if you can call him a gentleman, but this nuts table, and it's got it's hallucinogenic, and it makes sort of the person that uses the drug very susceptible to, like, people. Was it susceptible to persuasion, I suppose? But if someone said something, they're very likely to do it. Sort of mind control-y properties, if you will. Now, interestingly, in the first session, everyone was calling Origami crazy because he's going around and collecting powder from all these pizza boxes and stuff like that. Turns out, though, the powder on these pizza boxes that initially we thought was just like paint residue, or just part of the box, actually this drug, or at least the 2 samples he sent in, were the same. That's kind of cool. Thank you, Bard.
In before cross-contamination.
So what do we know about Jeremy Rieger? He's our only lead on the case, and he's dead.
Well, we don't know that
Step
this is
one,
Rieger.
he's dead.
Pardon?
The coroner hasn't confirmed his identity.
Oh, this is very true. Very true. We're just in Rieger's house.
Yeah.
And interesting you mentioned that, because what was her name? Miss something or other?
Miss Wheelbarrow.
Some crazy cat lady is what I have written down.
Yeah,
as.
Miss Willsboro.
It's Wheelbarrow.
His neighbor across the road. She reported seeing him leave the house after it's assumed his time of death was.
Although she also is blind as shit because she's 80.
This is very true. Very true. She has a ton of cats. So Rieger is being shot in the head with a gun. We have a pizza box in here. We have tons of boxes from a snack company, or distributor, rather, called Toil Snacks. They're all on the side of the room here. And the group was just going through, basically searching these boxes, and they've sort of uncovered like a grander conspiracy, potentially. You know what I mean? They have no proof really of things. The group was getting very interested in, there's this senator, completely unrelated to this case. Pretty much 90% of the stuff we were discovering last session, completely unrelated to the case, and which was just us looking for a bear that killed a pizza boy. But yeah, there was a lot of looking into this Rick Grouper and some of the events surrounding what the Toil Snacks company, as well.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
I don't think the sheriff would be very happy right now. The amount of corpses has doubled since this
That's
morning,
true.
so.
Yeah, I mean we're doing pretty bad, but at least 2 more people can die before we double it again, so that's good.
Well, and then after that, we have quite a bit of leeway.
That's right. Right.
My character commits suicide.
All right, so
Just the entire party commits seppuku.
yeah, essentially
Par for
we
the
we
course.
just finished up. We searched the entire house. We uncovered a bunch of clues and information. Very, very little of which relating to the case at hand. And we went to the library, and I believe it was Origami and Magetti.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were
Yes.
searching the tapes,
Yeah, they're searching
Yeah.
through these old VHS tapes.
which
Wh- Sorry.
I said we was gonna find the location of the cave if we get the maps from the what used to be the was it reserve for the was it what tribe was it?
Oh, started with an A.
Athabaskan.
Athabaskan, yeah.
That's the map.
It's like Alaskan, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Aridana, what was you gonna say?
I had a question about that German sub in one of the tapes. Like,
Yeah. That was on
um,
the film reel.
yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, did World War II happen in this universe how it happened in ours?
That's a really good question. No. In fact, we've only had one World War. And it didn't
Mhm.
happen when World War One happened. So
When did it happen?
Oh, this is cool. Okay. So this is you know, I didn't immediately start you off with a huge backstory of the world because you people have been living in it for a long time, and these major events happened sort of when either A, you were young or not born, so it didn't really matter, right? It would just be another day of life. But the world's actually kind of had a huge amount of flooding happen, like a lot of flooding, and it happened sort of just before the First World War started, and it kept going, and it sort of like stalled the wars, caused a lot of tension, and some of the countries, like we now have the Nordic Union, which is sort of like Scandinavia and Sweden, Norway, Finland, like that sort of area is just sort of
The
like
elf years.
right, yeah, they're sort of like cornered themselves off, and they're like, okay, look, like we're gonna try and stay alive here because we're dealing with a shitload of flooding. England is completely gone radio silent from the world. And aside from that, we did eventually have World War One, but it was more what the Cold War would have been. It was sort of an America and Western Europe versus like a Russia, Japan, Italy type of deal. And Germany was in the middle of it, but they weren't as much of the propagators as they were in actual real life World War II.
Okay, and when did that war start then?
Okay, so that war happened in 1946.
Okay. That was the start date?
Hmm.
Okay.
So there, technology's a little bit different, and like I said, there's a lot of flooding. The water levels, I believe, it's 60 meters. They rose up, and
That's a
they
lot.
stopped. Yeah, and it took place over 15 to 30 years, something like that, where the water just kept rising and rising, and then it stopped. We don't know why it started, and we don't know why it stopped.
So I'm
But
guessing the Netherlands are gone.
Yeah, that's what I was
yes,
gonna ask.
they are. I mean, a lot of northern Germany as well.
Like Holland would be underwater.
Yeah.
Actually, I only thought about this because I always wondered what like major events would happen, or like if a major event happened, how it would change the world. I was always curious about this kind of stuff. So I did actually find a website way back in the day that was like a global warming website. You can actually see what it would look like, if the water rose 60 meters. And it's less crazy than you think.
Interesting.
But it's super interesting. So that's sort of the
I mean,
world.
all of Florida's underwater.
Yeah, absolutely.
my-
Yeah.
Home city is still
There you
alive. Dortmund.
Yeah.
What's funny is actually most of Seattle's fine too.
It is. It's very curious. Yeah. And
But like Manhattan is fucked.
the weird
Goodbye,
thing
New
too is
York.
like a lot of coastal cities aren't necessarily going to be flooded. You would think, but it all depends how high up they are.
I just like how all of the Netherlands is underwater.
Yeah, yeah, it's
It was
just
a
gone.
island.
It's just gone, yeah. Which is, again, a little bit why Germany wasn't the major propagator of World War II, because they were dealing with a lot of shit at the time. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, yeah, we're losing
Poland is
everything.
underwater.
Yeah. And a lot of the stuff we'd be invading right now is kind of also going away.
It's interesting that the Caspian Sea actually reconnected with the Black Sea.
It is pretty cool.
So the water, so the salt water got even saltier.
Oh dear.
Oh wow, the entire Nile River Delta is gone too.
Yeah, so sort of like the biggest change, though, like of this world, aside from like tensions are kind of high, like amongst different sort of countries, is like England hasn't spoken to anyone since 1920 or 1925, I believe.
Hmm.
Have there been any expeditions mounted?
They're still there. You can you can send a boat there. They just turn you away. They've locked their whole country down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Trump.
yeah, and that's a good way of putting it, right? Yeah, they put the walls up.
They went full Madagascar.
Yeah, but they're very much just like completely locked down on their island. Like they gave up the colonies and shit.
Okay.
I guess it means there's no Falklands War then.
That's correct. Yeah.
Does that mean Argentina owns the Falklands now?
Yeah, it would, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they
they're
never.
mostly underwater though.
You can have
Good
this little
safety net.
pile of dirt. It's our present to you.
Yeah. But imagine like if you were England though, and the whole world was flooding, and you're just a tiny island. That's all you have. You're just kind of like, all right.
Wasn't that their time to shine? Make more boats?
Yeah, yeah, you'd think.
There's even more ocean for us to conquer now, gentlemen.
Yeah, until London goes under, and then you're like, oh fuck. Yeah, no, okay. Very good question. Some
Okay.
interesting observations.
It's probably a lot quicker to take the Panama Canal now.
Oh yeah, yeah. You don't have to wait in queue.
Yeah, there would only be like 1 or 2 sections of the locks left.
Hell, you could probably even mine the thing out
Yeah.
and like make an actual canal rather than having the whole lock system.
So, the question is, yeah, we watched these tapes at the end. That was sort of the end of the session. And in watching the tapes, it was sort of like two kids making a home movie, or like in high school. And at first,
Blair
it
Witch.
was like a Blair Witch ripoff. But then they actually stumble upon some Native Americans performing, sort of like a small little camp ritual, and they set off in the woods. And these guys were like, "Hey, let's record this, and it's gonna look really cool for our movie." And they did so across the 3 VHS tapes, and unfortunately, it ends with something coming out of a cave. We sort of have a still image. We're not sure exactly what it is, but it is an odd-looking sort of figure. And then Borrowed gets this, smart idea. He's like, "Hey, we could probably find out where that cave is, because we'd know where the reserve would have been around here. The cave was purchased by this Toil Snacks company, or at least the reserve area where the cave is."
Yeah, no idea why the hell a snack cake company needs a few 100 acres of land, but
Well, I mean, they also run business seminars.
But they
That lead
also
to people
would
committing
downsize.
suicide by shooting themselves 3 times.
Expanded business practices for the modern mind. I was quite proud when I wrote that. It just sounds so good.
But I mean, if they're downsizing and closing their factories because loss of revenue, where the hell did they get the revenue to buy up a fucking reserve?
Oh, that's a good question. I suppose the better
Unless
question
it was
is,
given to them illegally by the damn governor.
did we learn when they bought the reserve?
I
2011.
don't think so.
Okay, 2011. Okay, I wasn't sure. Sorry, like it's one of those things. Like I remember stuff, but also because I write it, like I'm afraid I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, this, and everyone will be like, no, you never told us that. I'm like, fuck.
Like last session.
Yeah, it's happened before. Yeah, I'm bad for it.
I have 2 more questions about last session.
Yeah, go for it.
Can we send the snack cakes to see if they're laced with the hallucinogen?
Oh yes, absolutely. Do you have any amount of chemistry? I assume doctors know basic chemistry. Well,
I mean,
it would be kind of hard. You need a lab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I thought that we sent the other stuff.
Oh yeah, it was just sent off, but
What-
you weren't
yeah,
with
okay.
us, so I didn't have anyone
Yeah.
do like a cursory glance. But yeah, no, you can go ahead and send that off to a lab for sure.
Okay.
We'll say, like, would you guys have sent it when you sent the powder? 'Cause
I
it-
would have suggested it because
So-
when you were talking about it during the session, I thought of that, like when I was watching the rod.
Yeah, so we could say that was already sent off. You already have received that phone call, so the snack cakes themselves, completely normal.
Okay.
They're just normal, like Twinkies and what have you.
And half of it is Avon.
Well, I mean, according to the security guard, snack cakes are fine. You fed it to the security guard? Well, I mean, he didn't flip out, so we figured it was a good enough test.
Okay. And then my other question is, are those shotgun shells like special in any way? Or are they just using like lead shot?
They're slugs, but
Okay.
yeah.
Is the slugs just lead or?
I mean, you'd have to.
Have to disassemble that shit.
Is there some?
You
I don't
can
know if
see
you
the
could.
slug if you can see the slug poking out of the hole when.
Well,
But
They're not
true, yeah.
necessarily
But would you
if
be able
it's
to?
not
Would you be able to
shot,
tell if it's lead though? Like just
it,
from.
poke it with a knife?
yeah, if it
Oh,
cuts easily, it's
That's
lead,
reasonable,
and
yeah.
if it's like super shiny, it might be silver or something. You know,
okay,
lead's pretty dull.
sure. We'll say that's a very good question. If you think to do that, give me a perception check. Whoever wants to try. Or a firearms if you have a high firearms, you can go for it. Might be able
Dice,
to
dice,
determine.
dice, dice, dice.
I think Rudy's
Where-
character is one of our higher firearm skill. Hey!
four.
Oh my
I
god!
succeeded too. Yeah.
You
See,
rolled a two, I rolled
see,
a
I'm
four,
scared because
fucking
borrowed
fucking
all last
18.
session. All last session, you were rolling bullshit, dude.
Except for that 180. I
That,
rolled an 80.
that's true, yeah. Yeah, it does appear to be a shinier metal.
Okay, so with a 2, when I'm poking and prodding at it, could I like narrow that down at all, or no?
Yeah, let's go ahead and just say it's silver. Yeah, that's fun.
Okay.
I like that.
Giving the DM ideas.
I
Now,
mean,
why would they need silver?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a bit weird. Well, the reason why I started thinking about that is that it had that weird like chant thing on it, so I'm like, okay, it has that weird like inscription, so maybe
Yeah.
they're like trying to also have something special to fire out of it, is what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, this
reasonable.
guy was a conspiracy kind of guy, so yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to put myself in his mindset, you know.
That's why we brought Fox along. We're like, one conspiracy nut leads to another.
Also, another thing I found out, just a minor thing though, because I was interested in this shotgun, I looked it up, and apparently it's not a fork gauge by American standards, but by European. In American gauges, that would be more like a 6.27 gauge.
No.
I have no
Oh,
idea
still
about
big.
the
Okay.
gauges, but
6.27.
I
yeah.
just
How
found it out
does-
because I watched
How
the
the hell
video.
does
and he
Europe
was-
measure their gauges then? Is
I have no
kilo?
idea.
It's a 23 millimeter round, if we want to be exact.
I like that. 23 millimeter, something I can remember and work with. Thank you. But it's a chunky boy anyway.
Yeah.
That's what we're
Definitely.
getting at. You could put a hole in something.
You can kill
Yep.
someone, probably.
Well, you can kill someone with a lot of guns.
Question.
Yes.
Did we ever went to what one of Luigi's pizzeria?
No, we've never gone to
No.
Mama Luigi's yet.
No, we still haven't finished up with the house yet, though.
I think we cleared out the house, didn't we?
Nope, we still have the thing in the bedroom.
Oh, that's
weird
right.
device.
The device in the bedroom. Okay. Well, so
Also, another question I had after
No,
the
for
last
sure.
session was we never asked for the guy who, or the woman who found the body we first discovered. Like we were investigating the first dead dude, and we never asked who found it.
that's true. Yeah, I love that one. Because somebody mentioned that, was it last sec? Oh, by the way, I
Yeah,
got
it
this
was.
for you guys.
It was almost at the end.
Yeah, it was like who found the body? Who placed the call? Very good question. I don't know. You know, I part of me wants to say just an anonymous call. I don't know how much we would have like looked into that.
That would have been odd. I mean,
You know, it could probably be the kid who drove the car.
Well, if that was a kid,
If it was a kid, yeah.
yeah, we're still not certain on that one.
I mean, a younger kid could sound like a lady to someone who is very tired.
True. Yeah, I mean that's definitely true. I mean, I'm just gonna say it was an anonymous call.
All right.
Just leaves a little bit of fun mystery there. So anyway, yeah, you're in this room. It's actually, I believe it was this bedroom here, and this is the room with a bunch of newspaper clippings on. Now it's not like the entire room is covered head to toe. It's just groups of newspaper clippings. You know, like let's say there's 3 of them from Texas and 3 of them from Milwaukee. What you know what I mean? Whatever. I don't know if Milwaukee's a state or a city, but Missouri. I know it's but like they're sort of grouped like that, like those are New Mexico, and they're all relating to cattle mutilation. And we were saying it looks kind of like when those detectives like are placing everything up, like they're trying to track down related events to a murder or something. And inside the middle of this room, sorry.
I was about to ask, on those newspaper clippings, are they arranged by like date, and are they like pointing to a map at all or anything?
They're not pointing to a map, and they're more so arranged in like geographical area, like the groups of them.
Okay, so there's not like, if I plotted out the cattle mutilations on a map, they wouldn't go in a straight line or like a line.
Now that's cool. There's no map in the room, but if you took a map and did that, Borrowed would probably have a map. Stanley, I see him as the kind of guy who has a map with his
Yeah,
job,
probably.
park ranging and stuff. So if you sat down with a map, you could, we'll say it takes like half an hour, just plot these things out on the map. Draw some lines, see if it makes a pattern. For sure.
Okay, I'd be
Um,
willing to do that.
Cool. So we'll resolve that a little bit. So the doctor's sitting down and sitting there with like some red crayon or something, probably pen, realistically.
No, he's got thumbtacks and yarn and a big ass map. Just
I mean, that's a
Yeah,
super
I mean,
easy
that
way
would-
to do it.
That would be the easy way, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd have yarn, but you'd probably have fish and twine.
Something, yeah.
Well, I just mean it seems like more thematic and cool, right? You got the park ranger with his fish and twine, as opposed to like yarn, which maybe he knits. Me, I'm not sure.
well, I mean, the doctor would also have whatever in the hell the stitching's fine, but
Surgical
that's
thread, yeah.
Yeah, it's more for medical use, but
I mean,
just
yeah.
don't tell them it's not sanitary anymore.
All right. The device in the middle of the room, though, it looks like a small radio almost, like what are they called? You know the ones that had like like they have the two antennas and they're just like a small box. I'll draw one out and hopefully somebody know what I'm referring to. It looks like this. It has the two sort of
Is it supposed to be like a CB radio?
speakers, not a CB radio.
Oh, like a boombox?
Yeah. Is it broadband radios? They look like this though.
So it's like a receiving radio, not a transmitting radio?
Correct. The only
Okay.
thing about this though is the antennas have sort of been bent in sort of an odd fashion, something like this. Let's just say. But they have been bent oddly.
Okay. Does anybody know about electronics or radios well enough to make a roll on that? See if that does anything, or
Who would know about electronics? What do you think? It's possible our intern may, although I'd say that's probably more modern electronics because he's a
The reporter, maybe?
yes,
Yeah,
I could definitely
tech
see
kinda
that.
guy.
I could see Foxy doing it. Could you give me an intelligence roll, Fox? Oh, I think that's close. Not sure about that one. Ah, you make it. Woof. 2 points off.
Barely made it.
Yeah, so you sort of looking at it. Are you popping it open or are you just inspecting the outside of the device?
Hit it with a hammer.
Shoot it.
Probably
With a
popping
hand.
it open.
Okay. So if you're looking around it, you're popping it open. It appears there is almost a whole nother radio crammed inside of it. You know, and radios are very simple to build. I built them when I was young. You don't need a lot of circuitry, and they have a lot of extra room. It just looks like someone sort of crammed the parts from another radio in there, almost.
how old do the parts look?
How old do the parts look? I'm gonna say probably about like 10-ish years old.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like crazy old. The interesting thing though, it looks like it's wired up so each radio would be pulling from a different antenna.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Is each antenna linked to a different speaker too?
Yes, it is. That's a very
Okay.
very good thought.
So what happens if we turn it on?
Well, if you turn it on and go ahead and roll Constitution, everybody.
Oh man, it's on max volume, isn't it?
Wait, even me, even though I'm not there, or I should be.
Oh
there.
no, yeah,
phone.
you're not there, so you're fine. And I guess Maggette is also at the library, so you're okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
shit.
Holy hell! How much Constitution do you have?
75,
Oh my
motherfucker.
God.
I succeeded too.
Holy.
Am I there?
Yes, you'd be there, Rudy.
75 out of
definitely passed as
75.
well,
Fuck
yeah.
damn.
All right, so everyone's good. So you don't take any like temporary.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Fox, roll D4 for me, real quick. The 1D4, sorry. So. All right. So Fox takes three damage as like it's not like one of her ear like bleeds a little bit but this thing turns on and it is loud as fuck. But not only is it loud, the people that succeeded who didn't take any actual physical damage from it, you all feel very nauseous. The reason being, it's both very loud, and each speaker is blasting a different station. So it's
Like
just
an actual radio station?
yeah, and it's just jumbled. Like it's just too much for your brains to sort of like interpret immediately. So it just made you feel like extremely nauseous.
I'm gonna kick it. Make it shut the hell up.
Okay. So you kick it, and you hear for a second something odd, but it does turn off.
Okay. Well, I mean, when my brains are threatening to come out of my ears, then
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Now there is a volume slider on it, but
well, I mean, you know, steel-toe boots a pretty good volume slider.
that's absolutely correct.
So it was on maximum volume.
It
looking
was,
at the
yeah.
case now. Okay.
So is it broken, or is it just a bit smashed, but still workable?
We'll say it's still mostly workable. Yeah.
Is it wall-powered or battery-powered? Like I just kicked a battery out of it?
It's battery powered. Yes.
Does each radio have its own battery, or are they just hooked up in series?
It's yeah. It there is a separate set of batteries for the second radio, but it's just mounted on the inside.
So are there two volume sliders or just one?
There's just the one.
Are there two like tuning things, or is it stuck on that specific frequency?
Well, it's cool. There is a second tuning thing, but it's not like a slider, or it'd be a dial really, but there's not like a second dial. It's just sort of like hard coded inside of the second radio. Like
So one radio is permanently stuck on that frequency.
Correct.
Okay. I think we should turn down the volume and then turn it back on and try to adjust the frequency to see if we hear anything.
Okay. So if you turn down the volume, the one speaker is just always not like blasting, but it's always at like 60%, because there's no slider for its volume. It's just always going.
Put a pillow over it.
Yeah.
See, that's smart. Yeah. So you do that, and would you be able to? Okay, so let's say if you mess around with it for a little bit, right? Like you mute the one radio. The one that's always on is set to 116.3, and you know that because the radio station says, "Hey, you're listening to 116.3, Minneapolis' favorite rock and roll." Right?
Okay.
And it keeps going.
Question: the non-adjustable, is that the smaller one inside, or the?
That's the internal.
Uppercase. Okay. So the internal is 116.
Correct.
Is there anything in the newspaper clippings that relates to that number?
Oh, that's cool. No, but that is a very cool question.
Like it's not like any combination of them flipping around to be a date or anything. It's like 1316 or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
We
'cause
are in 2016.
Yeah, but we're late, aren't we? Late 2016. No,
Yeah, but
early.
if these are all
We're early.
newspaper clippings, we could look for one from March, so we'd get 3/16.
oh, that's true. That's pretty cool. I like that. Or January even.
Yeah.
Um.
Or maybe it's January 16th of 03 because the dot could be a 0. I don't know. I'm spitballing now.
It's pretty cool. I hadn't planned anything like that. I do like that, and I wish I thought enough ahead to make plans for that, but no, unfortunately.
Okay.
And anyway, and then if you listen to the other speaker, so what you have to, like, you're holding a pillow in front of the loud one, and you're turning up the quiet one, and well, you don't even need to do that, right? Because you can just see what the dial is set to currently. It's currently set to 94.7 is the other frequency. And this you recognize as being kind of the local radio station. It's not from Sleepy Pines. It's somewhere in the county. It's like to your south, essentially. But somewhere in the county, there is like a radio station, and it's just sort of local news, like fishing and the weather. There's pretty much not music put on it. They have what's known as light music. You know what I mean?
It's
Like
like
an
elevator
elevator.
music, kind of.
Yeah, just or like some classical music, but just stuff that's just sort of calming, and it's just you know to span the like 30 minutes in between the next update on so and so lost their dog. If you see their dog, let us know. Here's another event we're doing in the community. We're hoping to have like the big flower festival coming up. It's mostly just that kind of stuff.
All right. Well, as an idea,
Hmm.
just kind of grasping at straws, spitballing, whatever you want to call it. What happens because we can adjust the external one's volume and station? What happens if we put the external one to the same frequency as the internal?
Okay. You do that, and you're just hearing the same station at different volumes.
Okay. Because you never know.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Why would he bother cramming a radio inside of a radio instead of just having two smaller radios?
Very true. Oh, there were.
Um,
Sorry, I forgot to mention the only other thing we didn't check in the house was the computer.
oh, there was a computer.
Yeah, because he had
In
an
the other bedroom.
office. Yeah. And I remember Origami saying he wanted to check out the computer. But I completely forgot about it. But anyway, sorry. You were saying Dino?
How far does the like tuning slide go up and down?
Oh, okay. Let's say it goes between like 50 and 150, something like that. I forget what FM bands go to, but this radio
It's
goes
just an
50 to
FM radio.
150.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it have an AM switch on it?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Let's see. Amplitude modulated AM radio carrier frequencies are frequencies between 535 and 1605 kilohertz. Carrier frequencies of 540 to 1600 kilohertz are assigned at 10 kilohertz intervals. FM radio band is between 88 to 108 megahertz.
88 to 108?
88
Yes.
to 108 megahertz.
Oh,
for
okay.
FM.
What's AM go to?
AM is 535 to 1605 kilohertz, not megahertz.
It's a lot lower though.
Yeah. Yeah, true. So we couldn't have 116, right? So
No,
we could change that. How do you guys feel though about like the 116 could be? I kind of want to make that AM. I think that does sound like a lot of fun. Like the internal one's AM. Sort of makes a lot more sense. Because you could have 116 AM, I believe. AM is a bit wonky do, but I know it has a huge range of numbers.
Yeah, but it starts at 540.
Okay, cool. So let's just do sort of 640 6.3 is the AM band for Minneapolis's favorite rock and roll. Which I know normally people wouldn't listen to AM for that kind of stuff. But I like it.
Yeah.
I do
The
like
only
that.
time I ever listen to AM radio is like for weather reports when like we're going over the pass or something.
Yeah, it's normally like an odd channel like that or like interview channels.
Sports. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, I like that.
Okay.
There. And we just have it updated. Anyway,
Who joined?
who was that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I'm busy, sorry. Who is that?
Oh, it's Zach.
Oh, hey Zach.
How are you?
Not bad.
Hey,
Mind if I join you guys?
Yeah,
How's
sure.
your
If you
phone?
want, pop
Why
in
not?
the Roll20 link there. Turn you up a little bit.
All right.
So, what's our next plan? We have this radio. Don't really understand why it does what it does.
Yes.
Yes.
So it did a weird sound when Bert kicked it. Was that like a sound you would expect from a radio that's getting kicked, or was it more like
Well, it was more
I don't know.
more his brain interpreted something oddly. You know what I mean? So it just
Okay.
sounded like it's not like a sound you could recall per se.
Okay.
That definitely good thought there, Magetti. I like it. Well, I guess we could move on to the computer then, because I know Origami wanted to check that out. So
I'm not there.
well, that's true. Yeah, you're in the library. I suppose you guys could come back, unless there was something else you were looking for. It only usually takes like 5-10 minutes to drive across town here. But was there something else you were looking for in the library? Or was it just using the VHS stuff?
Guess we're done for now.
And while you're there, you could grab another map of the area.
You guys could grab a book on Native American myths while you're there.
Hey, that's
Oh, that's
clever.
a good idea.
Okay, you can check that out. And
Oh,
sorry.
I was gonna say I was going to investigate Mama Luigi's Pizzeria.
Oh, see if there's
The
anything in the
next-
news.
No. Like I'm going to investigate them. Yeah,
Or
give
like
them
you're
some-
going to the pizzeria.
Yeah,
Oh, sure, go for it. Yeah. Okay.
but we're just gonna research. Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
Okay. I mean, Fox's character is also very computer literate. So you could go through the computer just a second.
All right. So, Nady, do you want to have some pizza?
Sounds fine, yeah. As long as we're not getting pizza with roofie cocaine.
Yeah. Just don't lick the
Definitely
box.
Check the pizza
All
and
right.
the box.
All
So I
right.
guess we're going to the Mama Luigi's Pizzeria.
All right, so you two drive off there. While you're driving, you guys are sort of, dispersed around the house. But Fox's character is sat at the computer. It does have a password. I'm gonna say, like, you're pretty, like, I'd say your character's very good with computers. You're a bit of a conspiracy nut. You do manage to get through. It's very, very simple. You just do a combination of like birth dates and stuff like that. Get it?
Or look around at the sticky notes.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like this guy did. We'll say that like the Jeremy Rieger was not a very computer literate person. You know what I mean? And to go along with that, there's really not a lot on his computer outside of, there's some audio recording software, stuff like that. And there seems to be like there's a large microphone in the room.
Are there any files in it?
Yep. So like, I mean, if you go through like browsing history and stuff, it's fairly standard. Like he's not really looking at much. He doesn't like have like Facebook, his email, anything like that. He mostly just Googles newspaper websites and he keeps up on like the news. But that's about it. This is a guy who does not computer too much. But sorry.
Yeah, anything in his recycling bin?
Oh, sure. We'll say there's a couple audio files in his recycle bin. And
Okay, she'd want to recover those.
yeah, so you recover them, you boot them up, and they all sound all of these audio recordings, there's probably like, let's say like 20 of them. All the file names are just dates, and it's all just like recording an hour-long session, like you can skim through it, of from the other room, the two radio stations playing at the same time. And
they're on the ones that they were set on?
yes, and in each one, the volumes are slightly different for the two radio stations.
Hmm.
So it just sounds like awful, of course, as you can imagine. Because it's not like it's a separate like audio channel for each. It's just a mess because he's recording it through, presumably, the wall. A bit muffled, but that's why it was on full blast anyway.
Does he have more of the files that aren't deleted?
No, that seems to be all the files he has. The most recent files in his recycle bin were there's 3 of them, and they're all from the 11th, I believe.
Do we have any like cops or detectives or anything at the police station that's at our disposal to like comb through stuff?
There's a deputy.
Well, the
Or was
deputy's
it the
with
sheriff?
us. We'll say the
okay,
sheriff.
legal
We'll say the
team.
sheriff is there because he's not currently with us right now.
Because she doesn't really want to deal with this radio. She's kind of mad at it for
yeah, that's fair.
I put like copies of it on like
a USB.
Yeah, I couldn't think of what it was called.
No, it's all good. Yeah.
Question.
Yes.
Semi out of character, because my guy's not the best with technology.
No, that's fair.
If we took the audio files of the radio
Mhm.
and we ran it through one of like the sound visualizers and all that crap, is there anything on the super high end or super low end that it's picking up that's different between the different audio recordings?
Oh, that's interesting. Now, this is something that a lot of DMs have to sit down with the group at some point, in character and out of character. And I want to say you guys have been great. And I want to say this is a good example of what I'm totally okay with. Borrowed's character doesn't know this, but someone else in the room does. So he's just giving ideas to the group because we all come from different walks of life. We all have different, knowledge on things. And it's crazy to think that we should be limited to what the player can think of when the character would have more knowledge. You know what I mean? So by all means, toss out stuff like that, and then Fox's character knowing that stuff like that, it makes a lot of sense. I'm never mad about that.
Fox's character would know there's a lot of conspiracies related to
There certainly
audio
are. Yeah.
and like
Government
manipulating it,
mind
like
control.
playing a Beatles song backwards or something.
I used to be a big conspiracy nut, so I love that stuff. But yes, there is. When you do that, he needs a program he didn't have on his computer. So you download it. He just had a basic audio recording software, something like Sound Recorder or Audacity or something like that, right? Like this guy, again, didn't really know what he was doing.
Records it in fucking like Bandicam.
Exactly. Yes, exactly right. So, but you find that your FM radio 94.7 has a very, very high frequency. There's like little bits of things that are essentially meaningless, and it could be chalked up to just some sort of a signal because it is in a remote area, just some sort of weird radio signal. It could be anything really. Somebody's like cable, like you know what I mean. But it's being picked up, and on the 64.6.3 AM radio, there's a very low frequency that's being picked up. Again, it's meaningless. It's probably just like a white noise essentially that's just at the bottom levels. You can't even pick it up with your ears.
What happens if we wipe the mids and then shift the highs and lows to be the mids and then like play them together?
Okay, When you do that, Fox, go ahead and give me a stress roll there.
Oh
boy.
shit! I'm sorry, Fox.
Which one? What, that's the 100, right?
Yeah. Okay, you made it. You got a bunch of stress. Well, you're gonna lose D6, unfortunately.
Wait, I need to roll again?
Oh yeah, sorry, a 6-sided die, the D6. That's how much you'll lose. Okay, 5. Once you do that, you hear it's like a song, but you know how songs normally follow like a pattern. This one just sounds odd. It's it's just like a very odd, off-putting song. It's somber, it's slow, and then skipping through, you get to a series of beeps. There's a whole bunch of like odd beeps, which Fox's character does recognize, as she is into that stuff, as some of the beeps they've received from NASA, from you know what I mean, from the satellites and stuff. Little guys that are sent out there, just these odd sort of beeps, but that is sort of a recognizable signal. And then skipping through in one of these recordings, the only reason why you would skip to this part is it has a noticeable, like, different audio signature. You know how like the audio levels go up and down. So she skips over to that, and there is a 2-minute segment of a man talking. It sounds distorted, but you can hear like a shuffling of papers, and the man is sort of doing like a news broadcast. The weird thing about it is he's talking about sort of like goings on, like for example, the guy's saying like, so in recent news, CIA agent like Jeremy Whitcomb apprehended like this person or something, and he's talking about like fairly confidential stuff, but it's all just carried out like very blasé. And then at the end of it, and he says, and 2 more sort of major security breaches were found at the White House. And Senator sorry, Senator Gruber has been called over to personally look into the matter. Stuff like that. And there's nothing really more that's like interesting, but he's just sort of talking about that kind of stuff. And it was just like weird, right? Like finding that.
Maybe it was Riga just recording some stuff, some of his conspiracy theories, and the radio was just to basically, how do you say it?
Cover it up, like it's
cover it up. Yeah, exactly, because he was maybe
afraid of being
thinking
recorded.
he was recorded. His house was bugged, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Would the voice be recognizable?
It is distorted, but I'd say if you met the person, you could probably identify it. Yeah.
My question is, are we assuming that the map you linked is accurate?
Yes. Sure.
The White House is underwater on this map.
Well, there's a new White House, but yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 1 second.
The White House.
The new
The White House too, Electric
Well,
Boogaloo.
we call it the Wet House now.
I mean, even then, it wouldn't be the White House 2, it would be the White House 3 because of the War of 1812.
That's right. We burned it down. I'm sorry.
You
Damn.
bastard
Goddamn
Canadians.
Yeah, sorry. Kaylin just got home. Now she's going apeshit. Yeah.
Quick, run and hide.
I'm already hiding in a room. There's nothing I can do, man.
Quick, Find a better hiding spot.
It's funny is a lot of this, if there was enough for a warning, you said there was like 15 years or so. A lot of this could be like diked and stuff, you know, and dammed.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean that's sort of why the war was put off for so long, is all the countries were like, oh crap, like this is kind of like a a worldwide disaster. We all need to chill for a bit.
Higher than the Netherlandians.
And there was a lot of like business put into reclaiming the old cities for their metal, for their like useful materials, money and
As
tools
we
and stuff.
found out.
Yeah. But anyway, we end up at Mama Luigi's nonetheless. So
Yeah, sorry, I've been interrupting so much.
oh no, that's fine. Like we're all carrying on a bit of a narrative here. So we have the professor and the intern. They step out at Mama Luigi's. You come up the cash register. There's a guy standing there, a little bit pimply faced, bit of a mustache, and he looks fairly out of it. You get up and he's like, "Welcome to Mama Luigi's. How can I help you?"
Oh, can I speak to the manager?
He's like, "Absolutely." He's still just standing there.
Are you the manager?
No. Oh, I'll get him. Sorry. And he leaves, and he comes back, and a man dressed in a nicer shirt, but the rest of the uniform looks really rough. Sort of comes out, greets you, and he's like, "Oh, is there a problem?"
Yeah, I'm with the sheriff, and I just want to know if where do you get your pizza boxes?
Well, we had an old supplier that we used for years. Basically, we were just getting it from like the recycling plant. There's these guys that deal with them. But more recently, a new company's opened up and offered us like some pretty good rates for the next 2 years. So we're trying them out.
What company's? What's the company's name?
It's gonna be Toil Snack Foods.
No, you silly goose. That would be too on the nose. No, they're called Brock's boxes.
Rocks boxes,
Hmm.
and they ship you directly.
Yes, they come directly here. Yeah, it's actually nice. The old reclaimed boxes we used to get, they were just completely white. But Brock's boxes, they've been stamping that with our logo for free. Basically, they're cutting us a really good deal.
You have first shipment I can just see.
Yeah, absolutely. Shows you the back, and there's just a stack of unfolded boxes.
And can I do a check to see if they're dusty?
Sure. How are you checking it?
If they're dusty.
Health and safety. opens
Wear
box.
gloves.
So you're putting on gloves and you're like picking it up and like rubbing it with something, or
Inhaling
see.
deeply.
yeah, right. Just wafting the stack in the air.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
just
cocaine.
just taking like a napkin and just rubbing it on it, see if any dust fall off.
Okay, so some dust does fall off. Yeah.
Can you explain why is it dusty?
It's like, well, Brock said that it happens. They're using like an old run of paint, essentially. Once we get through these ones, the new runs should be staying on better.
Mm. And about your cashier, does he do deliveries?
No, we had a delivery boy. I heard something happened to him, but nobody's really supposed to talk about it yet. Is that true?
You have to see the sheriff for that amount of detail.
You're not supposed to talk about it yet. You're under arrest.
Yeah. All right.
And about your dough, do you get it from the same company or you get it differently, or you make it homemade?
No, we make our own dough here in house. I can show you, and he shows you over. They have this huge drum. They pour like yeast and water and that kind of stuff into it. A little bit of garlic seasoning.
You guys are making me hungry right now.
Sorry.
It's only been
Alright.
about 12 hours since I ate last.
I ordered some garlic nuts.
Garlic nuts. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have
Knots.
you not.
What's that?
You don't. It's
It-
literally
it
like
sounds
garlic
like
bread.
garlic
sticks,
bread.
but
Oh,
they're
crazy
really
bread?
stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Or that sort of, yeah, like garlic. Okay, garlic sticks, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
you order
That's
some.
your go between a garlic stick and a pretzel.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. As I'm waiting, I asked, you know, where's the company's address is?
Like their shipping address?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he gives you like a phone number, and it's at 266 Ropinger Lane. Ropinger, if you want. Oh, that's rocks boxes.
All right. Anything make I forget your professor's name.
Leopold.
Anything, Leopold?
I don't know. Maybe we should get some pizza for the other guys. They might be hungry. But
That's
other than
true,
that,
I wouldn't touch those boxes too closely. guys.
Where are the pie?
Where are the pie? Yeah, you can buy some pizzas. Yeah. Yeah.
Cops can't go in the door. Where are pies?
The pie
So-
store's down the block, guys.
Oh man. So how are you transporting them? Are you putting them in the boxes? Because it's how normally pizza is shipped.
No, we just asked them to put them in bags, basically. Like,
What's
the
like-
bag.
A fucking plastic bag of
no. Like you slice the
What?
pizza up and then you just put them in the bag. That's it. But you don't carry pizzas in like
No.
Never
in a
heard
brown
of
bag.
Oh, okay,
I
like
think
a
you might be talking about like how pizza places have like the bags for the breadsticks. We just put it in one of those, I guess.
No,
Are you
like
sure
an
you're
actual
talking about a pizza here, not like a fucking calzone?
no,
Yeah.
like when you have leftovers and you too full to eat, just ask for the brown bag and they just
No.
put it.
When you have leftover, you get a smaller box to bring it home in.
Yeah, do they have like a styrofoam box for it to go or something?
no, because they normally like deliver.
Ah,
Like they don't have like a restaurant part.
okay.
But yes, you can put it in bags if you want. You can carry
You
each
go to the
slice in
grocery
in a
store.
bag.
Go to the grocery store and buy a shitload of Ziplocs.
Oh my god! All right, so you guys are heading back with all the pizzas?
And want to do something else. God, what I was gonna do?
Well, you forgot what you were gonna do because you touched the fucking pizza box.
But I did have a plastic glove on though.
Can we have the sheriff who is at the station look into like the owner of Brock's boxes and stuff, and like
Oh yeah, that's
see
fair.
who it's registered to or whatever?
It's actually registered to John Doe.
Oh, is there an address for Mr. Doe?
There is, and now, I assume we're discussing this as a group, right? Like, you know, because you're calling the sheriff and everything.
Yeah.
Fox's character recognizes the address to John Doe as being a sort of John Doe. I love it. I love it actually. But
I actually like that one being canon more than DOE.
no, yeah, I'm changing the canon. But Fox's character recognizes the address that John Doe is registered at to being sort of just a generic sort of White House, American government, like throwaway address.
Mm. Mm.
So it's essentially just meaningless. You know.
So is this MK Ultra?
I don't know what MK Ultra is, sorry.
It was a series of experiments with hallucinogens in like the 80s on Harvard students to try to like work on CIA mind control, supposedly.
That sounds cool. I'm gonna have to look into that actually. MK Ultra?
Yeah, it actually MK Ultra created the Unabomber, allegedly.
Well, if it's John
oh.
Doe, I'm renaming it to Brock's boxes like that. Because apparently there is no Brock involved.
That's fair, yeah. Well, yeah, Zach, it should probably take, I don't know, like half hour, maybe an hour. It all depends, like, how much longer we go tonight, because I work early, so I can't stay up too late. But it's always easy to just do, like, short sessions anyway. Because you get a lot of information, then you got a lot of time to digest it over a couple of days.
Oh, it was actually 53 to 73. Sorry.
Oh, but that's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a huge range. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you arrive back with a bunch. So imagine the scene, right? Everyone's sitting at Rieger's house. There's the police tape. They're all like listening to this audio, going, "Oh, it's kind of fucking weird." And then
That guy on the floor.
right, the
Eating pizza
professor.
over the corpse.
No, because that's when the professor and the intern show back up. Hey guys, it's been a while, and they bring in a bunch of bags of pizza.
Pizza's here.
Not my idea.
It's pizza time. Shouldn't it be, coroner time?
Yeah, how many people like eat pizza at a crime scene? I don't know.
Well,
it
even
seems
then,
like
you
some
couldn't bring it in the
contamination.
house. It's an active crime scene. We'd have to be like out in the yard.
Okay, so you're in the yard eating your pizza.
I take a slice to send to the lab to ensure it's not, if it's only the boxes contaminated or only they have something in the pizza that's contaminated.
In
So
before
Pepperoni is
flipping balls.
people.
Okay, one sec.
So you're still eating the pizza that you're gonna get checked?
Oh hell yeah!
I'm not touching it.
Yeah, my character's not touching it either.
Well, yeah, especially because finding out all that crap and nah, I'm good. You go ahead, eat all the pizza you want, Origami. Have fun.
Yeah, the pizza was made in the same building as these contaminated boxes. I wouldn't want to touch it.
We'll just study you and see how you react to it.
Well,
Yeah.
if Yanks' character was here, he's from the FDA. He could tell you.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Zach.
Bye, Zach. Yeah.
But I mean, like, every time they folded up one of the boxes, though, to prep it from being flat to ready, then they'd be kicking up that powder and aerosolizing it.
Yes.
Like,
Is this skin contact or is it only like mucous membrane?
Oh, well, it is skin contact. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay.
I should probably have Maggette and Origami make some Constitution roll.
well, the front
For
counter
being
guy, no
in the
wonder he's
pizzeria.
baked off of his ass. No wonder.
That's why.
Every
Yes.
time he folds up a box, he gets a little bit more high.
Okay, nice.
So was
I
the owner?
resist.
Sorry, was the owner wearing gloves and special protective stuff or anything?
No, he wasn't.
But,
Well, I
he's
would
the
think that
owner
they
of
would
the
be
pizza
wearing like
place.
food service gloves, right?
Well,
Is
yeah, that's true. But like the owner
But-
is probably sitting in the office all day.
Yeah.
He hasn't been as exposed to it.
Interesting.
Well, the other guy was
I
acting
mean-
kind
At
of
least,
weird.
at least you guys are
We
probably okay.
Should have asked about that probably.
He's probably a teenager doing drugs.
That's right. All
Doing
kids. Yeah.
roofie cocaine.
He's
That's
doing
right.
all of the marijuanas.
You
Oh,
know
my-
how it
He's
is.
injecting the marijuana.
You work minimum wage. You take roofie cocaine. Standard.
It's the marijuana that's the real killer, though.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, if you can get roofie cocaine for free, then you can sell it to your friends to subsidize for not having non-minimum wage job.
See, there you go, eh? Got a plan going on.
I just realized. I remembered the question. I forgot.
What's it
Who
called?
was making the pizza? Or it's just
Oh, Pizza Boy was. Yeah, you met at the front cash. There's
Oh,
Steaming
yeah.
pizza face.
That's right. Yeah, there's another person there as well, but yeah, there's just two boys in there working right now.
It's actually the robot that you didn't see in the back.
Right. Right. When you
It's
actually
all a
ask more
government conspiracy
questions.
for robots to take over the world because robots can't get high off of skin contact.
So we
Unless you give them fake skin.
that's true.
True.
So are we running Rieger off to the morgue just to do a little check, a little autopsy?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Autopsy confirmed that he actually died from a bullet to the brain and not like roofie cocaine overdose or some shit.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, give me your
Check his
medical
identity.
your medical skill roll there. Ooh, identity. I like that one.
Well, I did that with the last one. Like I
No, you
would have
did,
done
yeah.
like I would have done like a tooth press or whatever to check against dental records. Where is my roll? I have like an 80.
Yeah, you got like 1,000,000. Your medical is 80. Yeah, plus.
Well,
Yeah.
but it's my specialty too, isn't it? Or...
Especially surgery. I mean, you can argue, right? Autopsies and surgery is kind of the same thing. Just reversige.
Well, it's just one you don't need to have anesthetic for.
That's right.
Hmm.
Um,
I have medical science and physiological science.
all right. Well, since you kind of failed it, I'll let you ask 2 questions. 2 important things you want to know about the body.
Is this actually Rieger?
It is actually Rieger.
Okay.
Well, another thing you do find though, while you're thinking of that other question, if you have one, we can always save it for a later date. But underneath his fingernails, you find like a bit of skin.
As
Can
in
I
not
take
his.
that for like later
Yeah,
testing against with
absolutely you
DNA?
can. Yeah, and it
Actually, can I test it right now and see if it's actually human skin?
it is human skin, but it looks like the person had a genetic defect. Their skin appears to like because you would find DNA in skin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like their skin is a bit thinner than, I forget what that it's called, but like when you have like a thin skin,
Yeah.
it is like there's like a disease name for it, but I've
Mhm.
forgotten it.
It makes you very vulnerable to like sunburns and shit too.
Exactly, yeah. So that's basically it. It's human otherwise.
Okay. I'm gonna talk this out in text chat, I think.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
The second question, if you guys want to move on.
yeah. Well, because it's like one of those things you don't have to do it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 3 sessions from now, you can be like, yeah, I wanted to ask that thing about Rieger.
And of course, because you stole
I
his
know,
plan.
yeah, that's right. My plans. I never have too many plans. I have a whole bunch of little plans, but that's fine. So, the only other thing we had to investigate left with Rieger, and the fun thing is, like, I love, like, we're so like, intense on all these like things that have nothing to do with the case, actually, because we're just looking for a bear.
A bear that's high on roofie cocaine.
roofie cocaine because you got
And
the
thinks
pizza.
it's a human.
Yeah. Well,
And really likes pizza.
maybe. And an African or a Native American bear, sorry. Right. But well, the question is, are we going to? There was the tread marks heading off into the forest just north of Rieger's barn, and then we also have the cave, sort of a lead.
Did we find out where the cave was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that singing in the video? Did it appear to be like an actual language, or was it just kind of vocalizations?
Oh, that's pretty cool. It does seem to be like some sort of a chant, but it's so hard to make it out as to what it would be. The best quality recording he could get, Origami has on his phone, I assume, in like MP3 format, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
No, I meant the one on the radio. That
Oh,
Like,
the odd song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. What was your question about again? Oh no, there's no singing in it.
it's just like music.
yeah.
Okay.
It's you know when you like listen to something and then it's like you hear it again in D minor,
Yeah.
and you know how that's like super weird. That's what it felt like listening to it. Like it was just like off-putting, but it's it's still some sort of a song.
Is it like eerie horror music or something?
Not necessarily. It's just a tune. Just not really recognizable, but at the same point, it feels like you've heard it before and it sounds off. Like Yankee Doodle song. Most people have heard Yankee Doodle in their life. We may not recognize the song as Yankee Doodle, but if you were to hear it and it was off key, your brain would be like, "What?" You know what I mean? Like that doesn't sound right.
hmm
I'm sorry, what song? I just came back.
Oh, Yankee Doodle, Yankee Doodle Dandy. I don't know what the old colonial song actually was, but
As far as I recall, it's just called Yankee Doodle.
oh well, there you go. There's a lot of those they change somewhat because they're like, oh, think of the children. We don't want them singing war songs.
Hmm.
I mean, like a lot of the other songs, yeah, they're not necessarily about war, but like, fuck, they're really dark.
Yeah.
Bring around a Rosie.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good one.
Ashes, ashes, we all die from the Black Plague. Like, fuck.
And posies are actually poisonous if you eat them.
Yes.
I think it was eating them, right?
I know
It
posies are
was,
poisonous.
people
I
would,
knew they were
people would keep them
poisonous.
in their pockets to smell them to hide the smell of death because it was the Black Plague.
I remember them being poisonous if you did something with them.
You're probably right.
Did we ever get back the information on what the skin and stuff like that was under the fridge, who that belonged to?
Oh, skin under the fridge. Yes. Well, it does. It's not human. It doesn't match any animal profiles currently, but it appears to be an animal skin. It's a thicker hide, and it's got a lot of like coarse hairs on it, almost like a fur.
But it doesn't match any known animal.
No, not currently.
Is it the Wakanda or whatever it's called?
Wakanda, Wechuge.
That's what I couldn't remember what it's called.
Well,
I just
they're
called
both
it the
mythical.
Chugga in my notes.
I mean, Wechuge doesn't technically exist, right? That's just a myth. So,
I mean, so is the cocaine bear, but
mm.
we're looking for him anyways.
Now, the one thing I love about all this, right, is we're getting all into these conspiracies and stuff, and then how many red flags are we sending up? Like,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Because a lot of this information we're sending back to law enforcement and such, the government anyway.
We haven't
And
formally
Doritos
submitted it
Papa.
because the investigation is still open.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
all we did was submitted. Some dude is dead.
Well, you've definitely submitted a little bits of things for lab reports.
Yes, those are lab reports, and while the investigation is still open, like we haven't sent it over to
Okay,
Minneapolis.
you don't
to
have
get
your
it filed away.
official statement yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guys at the lab were really curious about the roofie cocaine.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they
If
were
I
like,
recall correctly.
that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you get this from? Places.
I told him that we send them in the report. I'm not gonna tell you right now, but I will tell you later.
So where are we headed to, boys? And
I want to say the cave, and I'm assuming there's still some pizza left. Then I'm
Shouldn't
gonna
we-
save it.
Should we
I'm gonna say-
investigate the path to the next to Riga's house first because it's closer? I'm assuming it's
Probably.
closer.
All right.
It's entirely up to you.
Oh, side subject to the pocket full of posies. Posies aren't flowers. Posy is actually essentially a bouquet of flowers or herbs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
Hmm.
But it was still
Yeah.
used for the same thing. A posy of herbs, you would carry that and smell that, so you wouldn't smell the disease and death.
So let's say it's probably getting towards evening now, like 6 p.m.
Mm.
That kind of seemed like because we've been investigating all day. Okay, so we're heading up into the woods via the path, or are we driving out to the cave and walking?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, if
but
tire treads are heading into the woods, shouldn't we just follow them in another car?
We could do, yeah. So you just drive around his house, because they're just headed up, right up here. All you really find that the tire treads just sort of go into essentially nowhere. They go into what looks like it was a ditch at one point, but just a ton of like dirt and leaves in the area. But
can
so-
I?
Hmm?
Well, are we still in the car, or we got out?
It's up to you.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Like, does the trail just end? Like the tire treads just into air?
Yeah, like the tire treads look like it went down into a ditch, but there's no ditch. The ground is almost level.
I go where the tire tracks stop, like a few steps ahead, and I start jumping up and down to see if the earth moves or something.
Looking for a trap door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like jumping up and down. Origami, you falling in enough holes today. Sure, bud.
I am a bit sleepy.
Go ahead and
have
give me a strength check there.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Well, once
bro-
again, Origami descends into nothing.
Bye.
Yeah. You fall down. I'm not gonna say you take like 2 damage from that, but yeah, you fall. You displace a ton of dirt and leaves, and you roll down and smash your arm pretty hard on a windshield.
Son of a bitch.
It's like someone was trying to bury a van here.
did the car alarm went off?
We'll say it did. Our alarm's going weir weir weir.
We do have a
Alright.
shovel, right?
Oh, I'm sure Bard would have one, yeah.
Or 7, yes.
I
True.
I just yell out, "I found it!" I'm just on the car with my arm injured, just staring up at the hole I fell through.
I found it, guys. Good job, dumb shit.
I just noticed Origami's down to 5 health. You've been having a bad time falling off stuff. Alright, so I assume we're just gonna take turns digging the car up? Or the van? The van.
I guess. But I mean, like, he fell in, so clearly there's a bit of a chamber. Is there anything else in there while we're digging?
No, not really. And it doesn't take too long to like fully, unearth the car. Because it doesn't look like it was packed. It looks like it was done hastily. Would anyone be able to guesstimate how long ago this was done? Dirt.
Theoretically?
I have forensic. I think that covers.
Yep,
it.
your forensics might work. Our park
Archaeology?
ranger might also.
I don't know.
Oh, no, yeah,
Archaeology.
archaeology.
Archaeology, that's perfect. No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, normally you deal with stuff a little further down the road. but-
Yeah. Not sure how you would date.
Be a social
A
science or
car?
what?
I would say like social or physical, either or, right? Like again, you can argue it with me. I'm happy with it.
Can you regain health by going to the doctor?
Yes, absolutely. But like, it's one of those things. Like, I'm one of those people. Like, when you want to regain health, it's like it takes a week. You normally do it in between. Like when your characters take a break, there's like, okay, like we finished the case. We're gonna like heal up and go to the doctor.
Yeah, I might have a fractured elbow.
Yeah, hopefully not. 'cause
Yeah, Get some shoelaces, make a sling. It's fine.
Mm.
Shrug it off.
You're gonna give me an archaeology roll there, Mr.
Hmm.
Spaghetti?
I'm sorry, yeah.
No, that's fine, man.
There we go.
Excellent. So,
Well, I mean,
Hmm?
if he passed that, but I was gonna say if you failed it, then you could theoretically tell how recently it was buried, like with what it was buried with. 'Cause
Yes, that
we're
makes
later
sense,
on
yeah.
in the year, so if there was no leaves there, that'd be before the leaves started falling, so it'd be summertime at least.
well, yeah, it looks like it, a little over a week. How long ago this was put there? The van is a, previously unmarked white van. Looks like it was used for deliveries. The notable thing about the van is it looks burnt to shit.
So burnt internally, burnt externally, like it was caught in a fuel fire.
I mean, there are definitely like there's external damage from the fire, but it looks like the fire originated from inside. Yes.
All right, with my one hand, do I find like skeletons or human remains
In the front or the back? Because the back's the delivery
in the
portion.
car?
Okay. Well, in the front, you don't find anything. Although I'll go ahead and say you can find Rieger's like papers for owning the vehicle in the glove box. Aside from that, it looks mostly cleared out. In the back, you find a charred to fuck body and a few fuel cans.
Hmm.
Hmm. Can you take DNA from within, well, inside a person? Because I'm assuming that. Wait, are they
Bone
cooked
marrow.
fully? I'll have to do the bone marrow.
Yeah, the bone marrow, yeah.
So I take some DNA blood from there. I mean,
Well, yeah,
bone
it's
sample.
kind of blood, right?
Yep.
So, yep, absolutely do that. And odd thing about this body, it's kind of like a 10-year-old or something. It's child sized, but the proportions are a little wonky, like it's a little stretched.
Hey, Michelle.
Mhm.
Sorry.
I thought you recognized the body. Hey, Michelle. I seen them legs.
I mixed up if my mute was on or not. Sorry.
That's fine. We've all done that. All right.
Check the car for prints, maybe? You probably won't
there's
find
any.
any
No,
on a burned car.
it's pretty messed up.
Is there anything in the trunk?
Yeah, gasoline and what seems like to be a child, a deformed child.
Yep.
Oh, that was in the trunk. I thought you meant like the back.
Well, because it's a delivery vehicle, so there's the front and then the back is the trunk, but it doesn't have a trunk.
True.
Yeah, sorry.
Are the keys still in the ignition?
Oh, yes.
Is there only the car key on the keyring?
Yeah, it's like a car key and the electronic fob for opening. Granted, they're pretty melted, but
Radio, analog, digital.
hey, that's cool. It's an analog radio.
Radio station turned to.
Yes, absolutely. It's hard to really do anything with the radio because the whole car is melted, but you can see the dial does say 94.7 FM. Which again, that's just a local radio.
Interesting.
Question for the burnt body. Is it, can I tell it like if it was bounded up?
Oh, how would you do that? Like, let's say if they used rope, there'd be some sort of residue from rope, but if
Well,
it
also like
burnt,
what position the limbs are in. Like if they're stuck
Mm,
together.
oh
then-
yeah, yeah, it looks like they might, yeah, they were definitely like bound for sure. 'Cause they're sort of like hands and legs are behind them.
Any other visible wounds that we can tell? Like, there might be a different cause of death than the burning.
Yeah, there's a very large hole in the stomach area. Oh, geez, sorry about that. Gave myself a fright.
Going back to the van's radio. What's the volume knob set to?
Oh, the volume hard to make out, but let's say it's quite high.
Mm-hmm.
can I take like a rope and just measure the length of the body?
Bard, do you want to give me a
Height.
perception on that volume knob? See if you can
Sure.
make it out a little better. Nope.
Nope. I mean, I looked at it.
Yeah.
It's definitely a volume knob.
We'll say it's somewhere, if you were going up a gauge of percent, somewhere between like 50 and 80. But anyway, sorry, you're saying origami?
Can I like take a rope or string and basically from the head to the bone, to the
Head
bone
to
to
toe.
yeah, head to toe, but like since it's like already fixed in the position, just all I do is measure the ends of it and just add up the full length of the how length
Oh,
framework.
how tall they are, you mean?
Yeah, how tall
He's
they
trying
are.
to get their proportions. and
Okay,
height
cool.
and shit.
We're gonna say they're like 311.
Quite small. Do I know the his deceased wife, girlfriend?
child.
Height. Oh yeah, that too.
Oh, the wife's
Oh,
height.
Judith
toward,
Rieger's height.
Suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could probably find that out. She was 5'8".
And do we know if they had kid?
None listed, no. So presumably not.
Are there any missing child reports from the last couple of weeks?
No.
Any people missing that is at the same height as the person, as what I measured?
There probably is somewhere, but nothing recent or in this area.
One more thing.
Yeah.
In the radio, we heard like a name. Is that someone got someone? Can like
Oh,
Fox character?
the CIA
Yeah,
person's name?
yeah. Can Fox like Google them see if they're alive or dead? If they're dead, then you can see their how high they are, or
See if they're
just. Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah. I forgot the name. So say whatever. Joshua last name.
You rang?
True, yeah, sorry. I don't know.
Joshua Urang.
Joshua
counts.
Rickles.
Joshua is my first name, so
Joshua Rickles was the CIA agent.
Was he a midget?
No. He did sell pickles. But yeah, so what are we searching up about him? Any information?
Is he alive?
Yes, he's currently alive, yep.
All right, then. No questions after that.
Oh, well, that was a good thought though. Good train. He wasn't 311, but maybe he got shrunk.
Well, while we're talking about radios, I want to grab a screwdriver and pop this radio out, see if there's another one behind it.
Oh, okay. If you do, there is. And it looks like the one radio is set to the FM, or like the tuner slider. The other is set to the volume.
All right, so I'm thinking, I download a radio app and just preset my phone to that radio signal. Just not yet playing it, but preset it.
Okay. Which one? Because there's two radio signals. We have two.
Yeah, that's the problem. I need someone else to also preset it to the other one. Cause I'm thinking if maybe it's some kind of the trapping device, or just something to repel. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, it's a good thought though. Yeah.
Sounds crazy to me.
Maggie's like, fuck this. Aliens like the radio.
There, my brain starts crunching up tinfoil.
Yeah.
Just a hint, a gut feeling.
We're gonna take this body back to the morgue as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some testing.
Well, you ate the pizza, so are you setting yourself up to be the next victim by listening to the radio too?
But I'm not listening to the radio. I'm just presetting it.
What was the radio set to in the Pizza Boys car?
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask that.
I
I
figured
guess
you
I'll
were.
have to go to the impound lot.
I figured you were
Find out
going
about
there. Yeah. Okay.
Is there a radio behind the radio?
not in the Pizza Boys car, no. And
Does the van have two antennas? Because if not, how the fuck does he have two radios going?
It does. It does have two antennas, yeah. Although they're kind of messed up because the car was crashed into a ditch.
Yo, what about the Pizza Boys car though?
Oh yes, so Pizza Boys car, the radio is set to just some sort of generic rock channel, like sort of like, you know, today's popular hits or whatever, like top 50 type channel.
And if you had to give that channel a tune,
Sure. Let's do 99.9. I just
The hottest music around.
That's right. Easiest to remember.
99.9. Just don't turn us upside down.
That's
because
right,
we'll
yeah.
Get mad.
Because then we'd be an AM station.
Yeah.
Two spoops. All right, so we take the body back to the morgue. We're looking at it. Go ahead and give me your autopsy again. Your medical skill doctor. What are you looking for on this body? What are you holy Jesus! You're pulling the. This is what borrowed normally does. That's exact. Holy shit! So what are you looking for, Dino? Oh, we can't talk because yeah, that's fair. Oh, the one guy we need to do all the stuff here. That's fine. Well, maybe we like kind of call it right now. So, you know, I do sort of gotta get up for work and all that kind of stuff. That's right. There is a body in a van underground.
The body is charred to fuck, and there's a huge hole in its stomach.
Well, I can actually, you know, we have detective types. We have a very studious intern. We can go ahead and say it was a gunshot wound, probably shot in the back and exited the front. Big, chunky.
Can I see it? Or can I see if the DNA resembles the DNA found under the skin, or someone else? Or
it does. It does resemble that. Yep.
Would there be a way for us to check what caliber he was shot with? Because I'm thinking if it's the big hole, it might be the shotgun we found at Riga's house.
Okay.
That's the murder weapon.
That would need like a forensics check or someone very, very good with firearms. So if someone makes a firearms at half your value, that'll work. Like
Let's try this shit.
Great, Dino got it.
Nope.
Oh, all right. Let me try my forensic roll. I think I passed. Forensic 60, I passed.
It's not actually quite a 4 gauge. Raffle misspoke because it's actually measured in bore, which is European, blah blah blah. So it's actually a 6 gauge, which is still fucking huge.
yeah. So you could definitely say it would probably be the 6 gauge round. Yeah.
Or 6.2, whatever in the hell.
6.7 or 2, yeah, something like that. I just wrote down in millimeters, like a 23 or something.
23, yeah.
Yeah, that's easier for me, but yeah,
Thus its name being KS23.
yeah. So it was, yeah, it looks like he was definitely hit with a 23 millimeter. Which is not, it's a little bit easier to determine that because obviously it's not a common, you know a gunshot hole and you're like, well, that's kind of big.
Normally I can't put my fist through a gunshot hole. He's not on the entry side.
Yeah. So now the question is, were they running away while tied up? Were they running away? Did he shoot him in the back?
I think
What?
it was execution style.
Think so?
It's this.
Sorry, Rudy? Rudy?
I think.
Wise from your way.
I heard him say discus or something.
Fucking Discord's fucking up for me.
Oh, sorry, dude.
But my connection is fine.
Oh, that's good. I don't know. Sometimes Discord does that for me too. Every once in a while, we'll just get like a robot voice for like a second. I don't know why it happens. Computers.
Like, it'll just. When I last spoke until now, I couldn't hear anyone.
Oh,
But I'm at 70 ms connectivity wise.
that's pretty good, yeah.
All right. So what are you gonna say, Rudy?
We were just talking about how the body had a bullet hole in it. We're trying to figure out, how they got shot or why or something like that. And then they were burned to death in the back of the van. Presumably. They didn't die.
Burned to death after being shot.
We should check the DNA of the body in the car with the DNA in Riga's rape dungeon.
yeah, we did match the skin sample to the body for sure. So definitely not human. Just, has similar skeletal structure.
And it's the same DNA that we found in the cave under Riga's house.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So either this dude was pretty good at capturing wherever this thing is, or he just got lucky.
Now there were 3 sets of manacles in Rieger's dungeon. I hope that's not,
Are there any more tire tracks?
No, that's it.
You know what? Oop. Okay, bye.
Oh, probably Rudy disconnecting, reconnecting. Yeah.
Probably resetting his shit.
Mhm.
But could we go to the local gas station, ask him last time they saw Rieger's dumbass, see when he brought in these fuel cans to fill up?
Oh, okay.
Because then we could get an exact time of death on the body.
Yeah, that's
Or-
quite clever. Quite clever. So they last saw Rieger I don't know if would there be a way for them to give you an exact date or just sort of like probably?
If he paid by card, they would. If he paid by
He
cash,
pays by cash. He's one of those guys.
They give a
uh,
rough estimate, like a week
it-
or a month.
well, I mean, I guess it would depend on how long they kept security camera for an exact day. Then, yeah.
That's true.
Because if they didn't keep the footage for super duper long, then
Yeah, it's about 2 weeks ago.
And how long was the body dead? Rieger's body been dead?
Rieger's been dead for a little over a week, I believe. A little under a week, maybe. A little under a week.
And I can't tell about the burnt body.
but the van
Because-
was buried a little over a week ago.
Oh,
So he
okay.
buried it a few days before he died.
Correct. Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean that it was burnt beforehand. He could have had it in the ditch and then burned it, or burned it and pushed it into the ditch, whatever.
hmm Set it on fire and then started burying it. Who knows?
Or, oh shit, the van's on fire. Put it out with dirt.
This is all just a misunderstanding, honestly.
Mhm.
Rieger's dog was in the back of his car, accidentally started a fire, tried to put out the fire with dirt. Then he went home, ordered a pizza, and got shot. Like,
No, he ordered pizza for remorse and then shot himself.
that's right. Yeah, shot himself. You're right. It was
I know
another
the-
suicide.
The dog shot him.
No,
Whoa.
one of the cows shot him and then shot everybody else.
killed all the
and
other
then and then the way Chuge killed the one cow and then fucked off back to the forest.
Yes.
And then the
Okay,
cocaine.
case
there.
closed, gentlemen.
That's right. Yep. Check, please.
I mean, I'm okay with calling it there because we've
Yeah.
pretty much figured that crap out.
No, we learned a lot of cool stuff. So
So-
next session we're off to the cave, right?
Yep.
Is that
Yep.
the plan? Oh, buddy.
Next session, we'll have
So-
to faff around in the woods.
Oh, buddy. Hey, do you
Alright.
want? No, never mind. I won't say nothing.
Love. So my character is basically going to bed, right?
Yeah, or, I
Going
mean,
to-
all our characters could, turn in for the
Alright.
night if we wanted.
So how my character's going to heal up?
We'll go ahead and say, like, if you're getting some bed rest, Dino, go ahead and make like a medical roll for me. What the fuck, bro?
Just to see what would happen.
Oh yeah. All right on. So Dino can like patch you up basically. He sets your arm and everything. He gives you a little bit of pain medication, puts on a few bandages for like some scrapes. So you can go ahead and roll. Let's
Damn it,
say
Eddie's not our medic, so I can't make German accents.
do like a D4. That's how much health you get back. Okay, cool.
So
Yep. So you're back up to 7 health now.
nice.
Yeah. Healed up a little bit for the night, which is good. Yeah. I'm not sure when the next session will be. Hopefully soon. I like this though. I like doing like short sessions, but you can bang them out like at least every week, if not like a little sooner. It's just kind of nice. Like a lot of role-playing games I've been a part of, you do like a 4.5-hour session, maybe a 5-hour session. You have a really good time, but then it's maybe not like 2 weeks till the next one or something, and then everyone forgets everything. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's kind of nice
Mhm.
doing it this way.
5 months later. So what happened in the last session?
That's right. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Delta Green.
They're stuck in the void. GG.
Mm-hmm.
No re.
Cool. Well, I'll catch you guys tomorrow though.
Oh, hey, Rafa, I got some random news for you.
Oh,